Today on Hopped Up Beer Review, we're going to be reviewing Dragon's Milk Tales of Gold from New Holland Brewing Company out of Holland, Michigan. Thanks for joining us. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. We are back to do that again. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers, that notification bell. Gentlemen, what are we drinking today?
Wow, that's kind of fast there.
It's like the Micro Machines guy.
Yeah,
I'm ready to get to this one.
Dragon's Milk Tales of Gold.
Excited.
From New Holland Brewing. Bourbon barrel aged golden ale.
I am excited about this one.
Have you not had it?
I have not.
Jay, was that Grin Syndicate? Did you have had it?
I've had it several times. I actually had it last summer. I'm not really sure about this chunkage thing at the bottom. Did you pour yours in there? Can you see that?
Chunkage
I don't have chunkage.
Oh no, there's a huge chunk thing in mine. I'm gonna hold off on that.
Well, mine is what would we call that? A colloid? I don't know. It's
it looks solid, semi-solid. It's not like the true fermentation things we normally get.
Like tails of flakes floating through.
No. Mine's the light's not good enough. There's something like a tail in there.
You won the urinal cake at the bottom of the glass.
You can kind of see. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Is it everything you expected and more, Ben?
I'll let you know soon enough.
You two, get a room, you guys. Anyway, this is an American strong ale. Strong indeed. It's flexing at 11%. It is released year-round. As Jay mentioned earlier, it's bourbon barrel aged golden ale with milk sugar. Yeah, I get that. It is sweet. It's got notes of oak, caramel, and honey. They age it for a month in bourbon barrels, which, upon the taste, I would think it had been aged longer. It is, you get that boozy taste.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you get more of that I would think in a golden than you would in some of the stouts.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. If you take a sip of whiskey or bourbon, you know that you kind of have that heat from it, and that's
it's bringing the heat. Way to go, Ben. Yeah, good call.
Not quite as yeah, exactly. The burn.
Mildly mild. It warms.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's not
the esophageal trail.
It's not like taking
elementary
110 proof shot of bourbon, but
no,
it has that effect.
Yeah.
Well, New Holland Brewing Company out of Holland, Michigan. It is a regional brewery founded in 1997. So we've done the regular Dragon's Milk, correct? The first.
Correct.
We did the Dragon's Milk S'mores.
Correct.
S'mores. And then this one, right?
Yep.
So not quite to playlist status.
No, but there's several others I'd like for us to try and get. We've talked about it. They have a white. It comes in a 6-pack that's a lesser ABV version that's really good. And then What was the other one that you asked me about the other day? I had, was it the oatmeal cookie stout? Something like that. I think I had.
Mhm.
I didn't think it was as good as the s'mores, but
Oh, really?
they were both kind of. They're not as good as the original to me. The original.
The
Dragon
original
Boat, the
was
first that we had. It's
Wall
Yeah.
of Fame, you know.
it's really good.
They claim on their crowns to be, I don't know, can't focus in on that, masters of barrel aging. I guess when you hit master status, you know, that's, I'm sure, in brewing, barrel aging, that's a thing. Or it's like somebody saying the world's best hamburger, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I do appreciate the top. Okay. Well, Jay gets to go last since he's had it. So Ben, what do you think?
What? Wait, what? I wasn't ready yet. Taking over the show here. That's my job.
Good call, Andy. Good call.
We all saw that intro, you know.
Yeah. Motormouth Jones over there.
So I think that I've kind of mentioned one aspect of this beer that was, you know, kind of hit me. Obviously, that that burn of the bourbon a little bit, and not that it's anywhere close to having, you know, sipping on bourbon or anything like that, but it is there, which is, you know, I think we've had, you know, enough bourbon barrel aged somethings that that's not something you always get necessarily. So I think that's really interesting in this one. You know, definitely it I don't know that it tastes or tastes or feels like 11%. Give me a few more sips, maybe it'll feel more like 11% then. But you know, I think it has a boozy to it, you know, and I think that comes off the heels of that bourbon burn, if you will. The first couple of sips though are sweet, which is really surprising. Even though it says it's, you know, made with milk sugar, you know, just looking at this one for a while, I didn't really expect it to be sweet. I expected it to be more like a traditional golden ale, with that bourbon barrel aging to it. So that was a surprise. It's calmed down on the sweetness as you know, take a few sips here. But that was just off the top, the first few sips that we got. It's definitely, as we showed before, definitely a lot of chunkage going on. It looks kind of like a lava lamp, and it probably doesn't come through very well on the screen, but it's definitely little pieces of stuff floating in there and just, you know, kind of rotating around as the carbonation bubbles to the top. All in all, though, I think it's a good beer. I really actually really like it. I mean, I think if you like to sip on bourbon and you don't mind the initial sweet, I think this would be a good beer. Bourbon's something I used to drink more of, and I just got away from it and kind of stick to beer now. But I think this one's a fun beer that kind of takes me back to that a little bit. So I'm going to give this one an 8. I think it's tasty. The sweet is probably what holds it back a little bit for me. I think without that sweet on the front end, it goes up to an 8.5. But I'm going to stick it at 8 for this one.
Do you think that's the milk sugars that make it sweet?
I would assume so. I mean,
I am pretty confident it's the milk
Yeah.
sugar that makes it sweet. This initial sip, it is sweet. Definitely tastes caramel and honey.
Mm.
And
Yep.
you get that boozy feel. And it's it tastes like they're trying to take a Belgian golden ale, put it in bourbon barrel, throw in some extra sugars, get up, you know, you need the extra sugar to get that higher ABV too. And this reminds me, I like to sip types of whiskeys. I like to sip it neat, and like on occasion, people, you know, I've tried those whiskeys that have some type of additive to it. You see like what is it? Jack Daniels has the Tennessee honey, and it's got that to it. It drops down the ABV, where it's typically 80, to 85
proof.
to 90 proof. Whereas then you add that and it's 70%, or 70 proof and things like that. So you get that like a Fireball, even though that's cinnamon, but it's some additive that you add to a whiskey and it drops down the ABV and it just makes it sweet with some alcohol taste to it. This kind of reminds me of that. For a beer, if you were to attribute it to a beer, it is not excessively boozy, whereas some have been. So, and especially the more you sip it, the more appealing it's become, but it could be just the 11%, brainwashing me, and the beers I had prior to this. So it
drank without us?
Ben,
you drank without us? How dare you?
Who was it that delayed the start of our tonight? It's not your fault, Jay. Don't you stand up for him. This is his fault. Anyway, yeah, Ben, I had something without you. And I'm not afraid to admit it.
So
anyway,
how do you rate this?
Yeah, I'm getting to that. It tastes exactly like it describes it, all the notes and everything. And I would have it again. It's but I think that excessive sweetness to it just keeps me from elevating it too high. So I'm going to give it a 7.0.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I happened to glance while Andy was going through his elaborate review. This one to me it's good, but it's not of the quality of some of the other Dragon's Milks because of that sweetness and the golden aspect of it, I guess. I don't know. When I think of Dragon's Milk, I think of the stouts that they've done, not necessarily a golden ale. And maybe that's my fault, but I did have this last summer in July, so it was interesting to have in the heat of the day because that bourbon
milk
does
was
come
a bad
through.
choice.
Yeah, milk and bourbon, right? But all the notes are there, like you said, Andy. I mean, it's got the oak comes across immediately because of the barrel aging and the caramel and the honey. I'm not sure if some of the bottles that I have are older or different, because I know at one point I had some different from you, Ben, and that might cause the big globules in the bottom of mine. But for me, it's a 7.5. The other Dragon's Milks have been a little bit higher bar. I'd love for us to get the Dragon's Milk White because it's only 6% and it is barrel aged, and it's really good. It's kind of in between. And we did the s'mores, but the original Dragon's Milk still stands as the standard for this. So.
Is that the first time the word globules has been used on Hopped Up Beer Review?
Likely.
We'll have to have AI search and see.
Yeah, there you go. Thinking of American strong ales. I mean, I'm a fan of strong ales, but let's get the chunk.
Ooh.
Oh,
man. Oh,
you see what I meant?
Was like a lug.
Yeah, that's exactly
just
what
got.
And it's not the first one that's been in these bottles, because I had another.
You've had plenty in your bottle. That was gross. I just want to say that turned me off of beer. That's a turn off in my book.
JD, you need to change your score at this point.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's still a good beer.
But are you going to drink that? I mean,
are you going to?
Do you need a fork and knife for that one?
Do you
No,
need a
no,
bucket
no.
right next to you?
No. I mean,
I was gonna say.
it's been in the bottle. It's the same stuff that's in your bottle. It's just
I
You
didn't find
don't
that in my
drink a beer
bottle.
like you're swallowing a pill, you know.
it's just like an oyster. Come on, man.
Oh my god.
Gosh.
But you see the point that I made. Mine was a little different than yours.
I see what you're talking
Yeah.
about, because when
Yeah.
you were like, "Oh, what's all that about?" I'm like, "I don't see anything."
Yeah. Yeah. For the record, I did not provide that one to you, Jay. You got that one.
How did you
on
store
own
your beer?
accord.
No, I've stored it in the fridge.
Vertically or on its side?
No, they're all vertical.
Okay.
Mine was
The
on side.
bottles are vertical.
What are you doing wrong? Yeah, I don't know. But
Well,
anyway,
I mean,
I was gonna
like I
say,
said, I've had that happen with this same beer before. This is not the first time I've had that occurrence.
it's
As long as it
interesting.
doesn't move or become alive, it's fine. It's just yeast.
How their I was just saying, it's interesting how their version of strong ales, they put it in the bourbon barrel, but there's other strong ales that aren't aged in bourbon barrels, like
Right.
what's straight to ales is that Butterbean.
Yep.
That was a great one. I really enjoyed their strong
too.
ale. Something like that stands out to me. That you don't have to
Good
get
memory.
that. You get a strong alcohol taste, but not too boozy. I don't know, but that effervescent, bright and crisp. So, and not overtly sweet.
That is going to be a 7.5 for the Dragon's Milk Tales of Gold bourbon barrel aged golden ale with milk sugars. And some other things as Jay showed us. So yeah, I think all in all, I think the Dragon's Milk series is so far the 3 that I've had been fun to review. I think Jay's had some others. Andy maybe has had some others, but I think they're a fun series for us to review. So we're going to definitely search out others and give them a shot here for the show. So definitely appreciate you checking out this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers to that notification bell. If you've had this one, let us know what you think. If you have the next Dragon's Milk that you think we should try, let us know, and we will be on the lookout for it. Also, if you have any interest in any Hopped Up Beer Review merch, I'm skipping around on Jay here, but there's a link below. You can get it, and yeah, hopefully it's a clean glass.
Is it floating still? Did you drink it yet?
No, it's still there.
Be sure to check out our social media
Tummy
links
feels
down
strong.
below. And come say hey on our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server, link down below. We got to get out of this one.
You messed Ben up.
For Andy and the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Cheers, mate.
I want to watch him drink it. I'm sick. Pull that one down. Oh, I don't want to drink this.
Andy's scared of it now.
Yeah, rightfully so. It's scary.